We in the building. DJ Gambini, the Renaissance Man, and this is Sports Talk 101, presented to you by Country Vision Studios. We off in the building today, and we back from our bye week. Yeah, last week was Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving out there in the world. I had a good one. Kind of sort of. Cause my smoker caught on fire. We had to finish the turkey in the oven, but she looked it good and she tasted good. It wasn't nothing but a skeleton left. Didn't even leave nothing for the dogs. The last time I was with y'all, I was 7-7. 2 weeks kind of sort of done passed cause I had week 13 and the record was 10-3 in week 13, 10-3. So I bounced back from the 7-7 week and went 10-3. Then last week I didn't do a show, but I posted on my page my picks. So I'm gonna count that as making my picks, and I went 11-5 then. So our total right now is 132-60, which is a pretty good percentage because I be checking out ESPN, and I think I'm doing better than some of them. Yeah, yeah, and most of the ones I got wrong on that 10-3 weeks was an upset. I mean, we probably never gonna get a perfect week around here. I never got a perfect week, betting with the guys or nothing. But anyway, we ain't gonna talk about what happened over those 2 weeks. We're gonna jump straight into this week's picks. All right, first up, Green Bay at Detroit. Y'all always know I'm looking for that upset, and Green Bay playing pretty good right now. I'm gonna go with Green Bay on the road. Green Bay on the road, even though they playing against a Detroit team that look unbeatable. I can see them in Kansas City, or if Baltimore can get their act together, in the Super Bowl. All right, Atlanta at Minnesota. I'm gonna go with Atlanta because Kirk Cousins been stinking up the field the last 2 times he done been out there. And I know they had the bye week, but you know what they say about Atlanta and Dallas. We even lose on the bye week. But we're gonna go Atlanta to right the ship on the road versus Minnesota. Okay. New Orleans at the New York Giants. The Giants ain't really got nothing going on, man. I hear they starting Drew Lock this week. They got the quarterback carousel thing going on, so it's hard to put out a win like that. So we're gonna take New Orleans on the road. All right. Next up, Jacksonville at Tennessee. This ain't gonna even be worth watching. Last week, Trevor Lawrence got hit with a dirty lick, man. That was a dirty lick, and I don't care how you put it. He was at the beginning of that slide. Defender lunged head first into him, gave him that little paraplegic thingy where they do their fingers and stuff, and that was a dirty hit. He deserved those 3 games. Don't get me wrong. I believe in that old school football we used to watch to, look for the big hit. We love a big hit, but make sure it's clean. I'm gonna go with Tennessee because they kind of still got what they done had all season. In Jacksonville, gonna be having Matt Jones. Matt Jones starting this week, and I ain't saying Matt Jones a horrible quarterback, but he ain't Trevor Lawrence. All right, Las Vegas at Tampa Bay. I'm expecting Baker Mayfield to pull this out and tighten up the division. Both teams win this week. I think we'll be in a tie, and we got the tiebreaker. So I'm gonna look for Baker Mayfield to pull it out against the Raiders. Even though the Raiders are not losing by much when they do lose, even though they losing. But if you lose by 10 or you lose by 1, a loss is a loss. But you could tell if a team playing hard by how much they lose by. All right, Cleveland at Pitt. I'm gonna tell you a story here about Jameis Winston. This joker here cost me my fantasy game against Knife Talk, and I would have loved to split the season with him. The defense was able to get that pick 6 at the end of the game, which cost me my fantasy game this week and probably first place because he got a cakewalk game for him this week. I supposedly got a cakewalk game, but you never know. You never know. But I'm going to take Pitt at home. They beat Pitt earlier. They upset Pitt earlier this season, but I'm going to look for them for Pitt to get right and go on ahead and get the victory. All right, Carolina at Philadelphia. Philadelphia 8-game winning streak. Finna bump it up to 9. Philadelphia. New York Jets at Miami. I'm gonna go with the Jets. Now, I know the thing I had going with Aaron Rodgers, but last week I didn't go with them and they lost. So I got that game right. But I do think the Jets can pull it out against Miami. I think that's a division game for them. In the AFC East. I'm gonna take the Jets. And Aaron Rodgers is not having a horrible season. They're just not equaling up the wins. All right. Seattle at Arizona. We're gonna take Arizona because they lost in a nail biter last week. They lost by 1 point. I picked them to win, but they playing pretty good football over there in Arizona. Maybe if Marvin Harrison Jr. can step up like he was at the beginning of the year, they can pull out another win. I'm going to take Arizona over Seattle in that division game. Okay. Buffalo at the LA Rams. Buffalo, of course. I mean, you got to go with the most dominant team. Right now, Josh Allen playing out his mind. He had a rushing, receiving, and a passing touchdown last game. It was a bit of a discussion about should the lateral be considered a pass. I don't know. You is throwing the ball backwards. I guess once you get in front of the line of scrimmage, it should be considered a forward pass. I don't know. I don't make the rules. And it looked like they change them every year, so maybe next year it will be counted as rushing yards. Okay, LA Chargers at Kansas City. The Chargers I ain't gonna say they put that thing on us this week. Atlanta, I mean, come on, man. I had high expectations at the beginning of the season, especially when we went in there and beat Philadelphia. But the more I watch, we might win the division and go to the playoffs. So the Chargers, they're a better team. They got Harbaugh coaching, Herbert at the quarterback, but they got a tough game against Kansas City. One thing about Pat Mahomes, it's hard to beat him at Arrowhead. So we're going to go Kansas City. Okay, Cincinnati at Dallas. I'm going to take Cincinnati because Cincinnati losing some tough games. I mean, the defense played not playing good. They putting up a lot of points, and the other team putting up more points. So if they can get the defense to step up a little bit, and they should be able to because CeeDee Lamb is not 100%. You got Cooper Rush in there, a backup quarterback, and Dallas is reeling. But you know they're going to keep all us that don't want to see them in the playoffs on the ropes until they out. But I'm going to take Cincinnati to beat them. All right, folks. 132-60. 132-60. That's well over 500. Pretty good season going. Like I said, last week was Thanksgiving. Pretty good Thanksgiving. Got with the family, you know. And, well, I got with my wife's family. That's still family. But, you know, I got with that family. But, you know, I hope it wasn't no people out there, you know, with that election don't come to my house, you know, crap. Because, I mean, get over it. Move on, man. I mean, because it's over with. And at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, if your tie need changing, is you going to call that cousin that you told not to come to your house because of who he voted for? Or you going to call the person that you wanted to vote for? Me personally, I know I end up calling my cousin because I don't even have the number to the person that's running this election. I don't know them. Not personally anyway. And a difference of opinion should not come in the way of family functions. But once again, we got to get ready to jet out of here. As you can see, I'm dressed for my black job. I'm getting ready to go to work, getting ready to head out here. But I had to touch base with y'all this week because, like I said, last week we did a bye week. And I promised at the beginning of the season that we was going to try to make it all the way to the end. After this week, we only got 4 more weeks. Next week, we're going to try to project the playoffs. We're going to be talking about who's the MVP, who's the Rookie of the Year. We're going to get it in next week because I'm going to have a little bit of time. I'm on day shift. I can get in here that Tuesday night, have about 2 hours to clown around in the studio. And, you know, I have it ready because, man, it's cold in here right now because, you know, this is a makeshift studio. It's the Man Cave / studio. Yeah. But anyway, I'm getting ready to roll up out of here. Them my picks for the week. And y'all know how we end the show. Peace. and prosperity.